Your ex falls back in love when you reveal this to them. That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. But first, my name is Clay with Modern Love Life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something that you are not, because you, of course, deserve to be loved for the unique, amazing, and wonderful person that you are. And if you agree with me, please help me out by smashing that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm, by subscribing to this channel, and by leaving a comment down below. All those things help us with the YouTube algorithm. So if you like the videos, help us out by doing all these sorts of things. Also, I did want to let you know that we're going to be doing a Facebook workshop on a private Facebook group where we're going to be talking about your way of being. That's to say, how you bring yourself to interactions and situations and circumstances from the inside out so that you can get the great, loving, thriving relationship that you're looking for. If you do want to join us for this workshop, there's a link for it down below. We're going to be probably starting next week. We'll just have to see how it all goes, but that's what's going on. So if you want to join us, again, the link to the Facebook group is right down below. Once we have 250 or more people sign up, I'll go ahead and approve everyone, and we'll go ahead and start the workshop, obviously as soon as I'm able to put together the first video or so. But anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with this video. So what is it you can actually reveal to your ex that is going to get them to fall back in love with you? And not what you might be thinking. Get your mind out of the gutter, you dirty, filthy animal, you. That might get you some attention for sure, but it's probably not going to necessarily get you back together unless you and your ex have a purely physical relationship. But with all that being said, what actually is going to get them to want to get back together with you? And that's when you reveal vulnerability to them. Not just any vulnerability, though, because there's good vulnerability and then there's bad vulnerability. That's to say, we all want to be in a relationship with someone who is willing to open up and be vulnerable and be transparent. We don't want to be in relationships with people that are going to hold back or withhold the truth or walk on eggshells around us or not tell it to us straight or maybe say one thing and do another. We don't want to be in relationships with people like this. We want to be in relationships with people who are transparent, who are vulnerable, who are willing to just call it like it is and be good with communication, good with making sure that we're synced up with one another. And the problem is that when a lot of people hear this, they think, okay, great, I can be vulnerable. I'm just going to go and I'm going to tell my ex, hey, I love you. I will never give up fighting for us. I will do anything to get us back. And then they're like, Clay, it didn't work. Being vulnerable didn't work. And this is my caveat, is that, being vulnerable is a good, beneficial thing, but we want to be sure that we're expressing good vulnerability as opposed to negative vulnerability. So what is negative vulnerability? Negative vulnerability is a kind of vulnerability where you're making someone else responsible for your emotional well-being. That's to say, I want to feel good, and the only way that I can think of for feeling good is for you to get back together with me. Therefore, you are a means to an end for me to feel good. And that doesn't go over so well because we're not recognizing the other person's emotional place where they're at. We're not recognizing their concerns. We're not recognizing how they're feeling. We're not recognizing what their objections are. We're not recognizing anything. We're just saying like, hey, I want to use you as a means to an end to feel good about myself. So will you get back together with me? With zero consideration for what you might be feeling, where you're at emotionally, what sort of experience you may have had, etc. Just get back together so I can feel good. That's negative vulnerability, right? We don't want that because that is, kind of a setup for ulterior motives and all this sort of stuff. But genuine positive vulnerability is where we're able to stay rooted in who we are. We're able to know what's important to us, and we're able to just transparently say something without making it about someone else. We're able to say something and express desire for something without making someone else feel responsible for that. So, you might be able to say something like, wow, I really miss being able to talk to you like this. Or, I really miss being able to just be able to tell you how my day's going. Or something along those lines. We're not making someone else responsible for that. We're not making your ex responsible for how you feel. We're just simply expressing a desire about something, and we're not making it about someone else. We're not giving over the keys to our happiness to someone else. We're just simply saying, yeah, this is how I feel, this is where I'm at, and this is what I'd like. We're not saying, okay, what do you want to do about it now? We're not saying, would you do this for me? We're not saying, I need you to be this way, or anything like that. We're just simply saying, this is what I feel. This is what I want. This is what I'd like. And so oftentimes this requires people to actually shift their way of thinking, because, if you are coming from that frame of mind where it's like, okay, I want to get back together with you so that, I can feel happy about myself, we have to stop and think about it. And we're like, okay, well, I don't just want to get back together with you for the sake of being together. I don't just want to like tick a box and say, okay, great, I'm in a relationship. Me and my ex are back together again. Because there's lots of people that are in relationships that aren't doing so great. There's lots of people that have a partner and they don't like that partner. They're just kind of getting by. They're just sort of putting up with it. It's not amazing. It's not great. Maybe it's even terrible. I don't know. And so we don't want that. What we want to think about, okay, what is it I think getting back together with my ex is going to give me? Well, I think it's probably going to give me a feeling of connection. I think it's probably going to give me a feeling that like I have an ally on my side, someone who's on my team, someone who's in my corner rooting for me through the challenges of life and all of that, someone who I can lean on for support when I need to, someone who I can support when they need it, all of these sorts of things. And if that's the case, then go for that. Don't go for the, external result relationship oriented kind of thing where you're like, hey, I want to get back together so that I can feel good. And if you just simply say that, and if you just simply recognize that and own that and say, hey, I really miss how we used to be able to just, be on each other's side through all the challenges of life. That is a good kind of vulnerability, when said in the right context and all of that stuff. But that is a good kind of vulnerability that can bring the two of you closer together, and it can cause your ex to see where you're at, and it can cause them to know you in a deeper sort of way, and cause them to see what your values are and what's important to you in life. Okay? I know there's all this advice that says you have to play cool, you have to pretend like you don't care, whoever cares the least controls the relationship. Relationships are just about power struggles and all of that. And that's a really jaded and cynical view of the world. And I would never want to be in a relationship through that lens, through that view of the world. And I hope that you don't either, because it really doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to have this sort of transactional view of the world. You don't have to have this sort of like, I win so you have to lose, or you lose so that I can win kind of view of the world, because that is a setup for a really rough relationship. That's a setup for the two of you being on separate teams, which we talk about in Effortless Connection, about how that's a major setup for relationships to struggle and to deteriorate and fall apart, and how it's a much better setup to actually be on the same team. We give you strategies for that inside Effortless Connection, but that's a much better setup. And the best way that you can actually start to be on the same team is to actually be transparent and vulnerable with one another. Sure, obviously in the ways that we've talked about here are important, but also in other ways too. Like when your ex says, hey, how are you today? You can say, oh, I'm fine, thanks, or I'm good, or I'm great, or I'm okay, or all these other, blow off fluff phrases that we all say all the time. Or you can just say something like, you know what, I'm actually feeling really sad today. And you can, express it in a way where you take ownership of it, but you're not making it about them. And that can be a really powerful way to be transparent and vulnerable. And that can be a really powerful way to go towards emotional connection and get real with one another and create a real meaningful connection and all of these great sorts of things that are going to cause your ex to see that there's something here with you, to cause them to remember who you are, and to cause them to remember why they fell in love with you in the first place. And that's so much more powerful than trying to, browbeat them into thinking that, you're some sort of all powerful whatever, and they have to lose in order for you to win or something like that, so that you can, beat them into submission or something. I mean, it's fine if you're into all that stuff, but I don't think that's a great dynamic for a relationship, to have it be this sort of like zero-sum game. I want a relationship where I'm a better person because of my partner, and my partner is a better person because of me, and together we can create something even better than either one of us could individually create. At least that's my philosophy anyway. So anyway, that is what you can reveal to your ex to get them to fall back in love. Be vulnerable, be transparent. Don't just tell them some stock answer. Don't just tell them something that you think is supposed to make you seem cool, like you're unemotional or something like that. Tell them something that's honest, something that's real, but own it. Don't make it about them. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, please hit that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe down below, all that good stuff. And if you do want to join us in this Facebook workshop that we're going to be doing here pretty soon, please feel free to click that link down below in the description box and request to join the Facebook group. Once again, when enough people join and when we're ready to get going, I'll approve everyone and we'll get started with the Facebook group. But anyway, that link is once again down below. And if you do want to learn more about your ex's emotional experience through all of this, you might want to check out what your ex is thinking over in this playlist right here, or you might want to check out this video right here. But once again, thank you so much. Please take care. My name is Clay, and I'll talk to you in the next video.